How are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Hello. Hi. So today's video, we're starting what I believe is going to be like a new kind of series on my channel. I'm a little nervous because whenever you try something new, you never really know how it's gonna go. But lately I've been noticing that there are a lot of sort of small drama-esque topics happening, a lot of like smaller scale things that I wouldn't maybe dedicate an entire video to, but that definitely I would like be interested in talking about. Could be fun to discuss. So I decided this is going to be a series called What the Heck Happened This Week? And it basically, if it's been a crazy week and there's just a lot of little things, we're just gonna sit down and talk about what the heck happened this week. This is a good compromise. It's a good way to still give my opinion on things, but also not have to make like whole dedicated videos. So we have a couple topics today, and if you guys like this format or this style of video, please let me know, because I might keep doing it. I thought about making it sort of podcast style, so it's a little bit more like informal. However, then I felt like it would just be the same as my normal commentary videos, just with a microphone in my face. And I didn't know how that would go. So I think we're just gonna do this sort of normal style, but we'll play around with it, see if you guys like it. Also, before we get started, very important, candle of the day. Today's candle of the day is Banana Walnut Muffin from Bath & Body Works. Really, it's been sitting on my desk and you can see this one's got some damage to it, about halfway done. And this one sits on my desk normally, and I normally use this one while I edit. I have like a cluster of candles over there that I cycle out to edit with. And I thought, let's bring her in today. Let's bring in Miss Banana. Let's bring her in. So let's talk about a few things that were pretty noteworthy that happened this week. The first thing I really want to talk about is something that I'm not seeing a lot of people discuss, but that I think is easily one of the most screwed up things we're going to be talking about. Well, there's a lot, but this one is really messed up. So if you don't know what's been going on in terms of like Wall Street and Reddit the past couple of weeks, first of all, it's going to the moon. Second, basically, I'll give you the absolute abridged version, and just know that I am in no way like a financial expert. I just have had this explained to me so many times by my fiance that I think I have a good grasp on what happened. Basically, there's a subreddit that found out that all of these billionaires were essentially trying to short GameStop stock. And basically what shorting the stock means is you're kind of like betting against it, essentially, to make a bunch of money. This is like a common practice that a bunch of billionaires do. That's the simple way that I'm gonna put it. You're betting on the stock hoping that it will fail, right? I don't really fully get it either, but rich people do rich people things. So a bunch of people on Reddit found out that a lot of hedge funds and billionaires were doing this with GameStop. So they decided, hey, let's make them lose a lot of money. So they flooded the stock market, bought up all this stock in GameStop. It made the price skyrocket and made it like so much more valuable than it was before. And it caused all of these billionaires to lose a lot of money. So this subreddit has been doing this with other things. One big example that they were really pushing was Dogecoin. Dogecoin is basically less than penny stocks. But what they were trying to do was essentially make it a real penny stock and make it really, really valuable, because again, all of these companies had kind of bet against it. Now, I don't want to get into the sort of implications that this had, because then there was a lot of political implications in the sense that Wall Street like stopped allowing people to trade. Robinhood, which was the app most people were using for this, stopped allowing people to trade these certain stocks. It really screwed over a lot of people, but they're rich people, so like nobody really cares. But also now I guess there's something going on with the price of silver that could basically destroy the world economy. So besides all of that though, one thing that I found to be really interesting about all of this is that there were a lot of influencers during this time, like when Dogecoin in particular was being told that it was going to skyrocket. I saw a lot of influencers being like, OMG guys, we're buying Dogecoin. And here's the thing. If it was like, I don't know, like a makeup guru, I was like, okay, like they're just buying Dogecoin, like they're just hopping on the trend. Like you want to make a little quick cash because it's going up so fast. You want to like participate in this sort of movement where we're like taking down Wall Street. Like I get it. But there were other influencers doing it that I was like, that's suspicious. Here's the thing. about stuff like this. If you're like an average person and you can put in like $10, right, to this Dogecoin stuff, you might be able to, with Dogecoin, get up to like $20. So you've made $10 and that's like pretty dope. You started with 10, you made 20, fine. However, these influencers have millions of dollars. They were able to invest tens of thousands of dollars into Dogecoin. So even if it went up a little bit, their stock increased substantially. They made a lot of money the more that stocks like Dogecoin went up. What I started really noticing a trend of was influencers using their influence to inflate the stock just as they had like invested, and then very quickly not mentioning it again and very obviously selling their stock when it was at their peak. So they essentially bought the stock and then used their followers to up the price of the stock even more, sold, and then were telling all of their followers to hold the stock, making all of their followers lose money because they pulled out their money. I hope this is making sense because it is a little complicated, but basically when they took out their money, prices fell, meaning that their followers would end up losing money or not making as much money because they sold their stock. First of all, I don't think that this is illegal. I don't think using your influence in this way to like drive up stock prices for yourself, I don't think that's illegal. And if it's not illegal yet, I would imagine in the next few years it's going to be illegal because of situations like this. I can't imagine they're just going to let influencers like influence the stock market as well. Like they already influence so much. Have the idea that they could also influence that is a little nutty. But I also think on a moral scale, it's kind of hard to tell where doing something like that would lie. Because in the end of the day, by you doing that, yeah, you probably made a lot of money very quickly, but your followers had to lose money for you to gain money. And while I think some people might write this off as like, oh, they're just being smart business people, this is just a smart move, it's just the way to use your money. But also have to argue that like a lot of these people, they're following are young kids. They're teenagers or tweens who probably got permission from their parents because like FaZe Banks told them to invest in Dogecoin, right? We're in this weird world of influencing because so many things are not covered by like FTC guidelines, because you are supposed to disclose if your followers doing something is making you a profit. Like if you were sponsored by Robinhood, you would have to disclose that. But if you're just going to make a ton of money because you just invested, like this is kind of a gray area. The FTC doesn't say you need to disclose that you're making possibly millions of dollars off of the backs of your followers. Like they don't have to do that. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about this one. Personally, I think it's kind of morally like reprehensible. Like I personally think that using your large following to make money and trick them essentially into thinking they're a part of this movement with you just so you can cash in and make a quick buck, like I think that's pretty gross. But at the same time, some people might say it's savvy. I don't know. I've never thought that tricking kids is savvy. Like I just never will think if your business strategy is reliant on young people, it's probably not a good strat. You might want to reassess. The next topic I would like to talk about is Nikita Dragun's COVID birthday. Basically, I've made a lot of videos at this point during the course of the pandemic talking about people breaking social distancing and COVID parties, and it gets to a point, I tweeted about this, it gets to a point where it's like, what can we even say? Because we've screamed until we're blue in the face that what they're doing is wrong. It shows a great lacking of like moral integrity to be going out and throwing these massive parties during a pandemic. But I think the thing that got me about the Nikita one in particular is, number one, Nikita Dragun is just, at first, I don't understand, and I'm not trying to be like mean, I'm really not, but why is she famous? What is she famous for? She barely posts on her YouTube channel. I know she does a lot of like Instagram stuff, but she seems to just be a really self-centered, rude person who does a lot of really inappropriate things like cultural appropriation, just blatantly lying about things. I remember I watched her interview with Philip DeFranco for his Conversation With podcast, and she basically lied about graduating first in her class in college, and then a bunch of her colleagues from college called her out on it, and then she tried to say, oh, well, I walked first in graduation. So I was the first to graduate. So that's what I meant by first in my class. Which is like, no, you just lied, but that's fine. By the way, Philip DeFranco's reaction to that, hysterical. So I think the fact that she's just generally not my favorite person in general just because of her like morals, I already disagree with. But I think to make matters worse, she posted this picture from her party of all of these rapid tests, just like piles and piles of rapid tests. And basically was like, everybody that entered the party got tested, don't worry about it. Here's my thing. Rapid tests are not necessarily the most reliable tests. And we know this. I recently had to go get tested for COVID. I literally have not left my home. However, I was sick. So I was like, better safe than sorry, gotta go get a test. So I went and got tested, and how they did it was they gave me a rapid test, which was a test that I got the results back in 15 minutes. And basically they broke it down for me that if it was a negative test, they had to send off another test. I had to get 2 swabs. They had to send off another test to a long-term lab to do the long-term test, so that way they could confirm the negative, because a negative rapid test alone didn't really mean anything. However, they did say if it was positive, it would just be like assumed positive. But they say that they get a lot of false negatives, so that's why they like to test double if you have any symptoms. So when I see a table full of rapid tests in a city like Los Angeles, which right now, isn't it like 1 in 5 people have COVID? So when I see a table full of rapid tests, knowing those statistics, it's literally statistically impossible that at least one of those people doesn't have COVID. I think the horrifying thing that I've come to terms with about all of this is that I think all of these influencers have already gotten COVID. Like, I think all of them have already had it. You can't tell me that more of these people who have been regularly going out, regularly ignoring social distancing, you can't tell me that they haven't already contracted it and that they haven't already spread it to other people. You cannot tell me those events aren't super spreaders and that nobody got it from those events. You could not convince me. It's a lie. They just know that because they're going out and partying, how bad it would look if they also got COVID. So they get COVID, they quarantine, and now they feel even more emboldened because they feel like they're immune to it now. I think what kills me too is those rapid tests are not free. Like, they're very, very expensive. And in a time when we just had holidays where so many people had to do holidays over Zoom, everybody now, we're coming up on the year mark, so almost every single person has now had a birthday in quarantine. To see that Nikita couldn't just do what the rest of us are doing, which is like a Zoom birthday party, and that she can afford the, like, I think it's $125 a rapid test. She can afford the $125 test for all of her friends to come and celebrate and pretend COVID isn't real. It's not the responsible image that you think it is. Nobody feels safer because you all got these rapid tests that aren't reliable, and nobody feels better that you're so rich that you can buy your way out of the pandemic. And I feel like that is what's really, really getting to people lately, especially, I don't know if I'm alone in this, I guess. I guess I'm just speaking for myself, but it just feels like if you are rich enough, you can literally just buy your way out of it. And that's always been true. Like, rich people have always been able to buy their way out of things. Like, I get it. However, having it be so disgustingly clear how easy it is for rich people to buy their way out of something like a global pandemic, it's jarring. It's honestly jarring. Showing off the like thousands of dollars in rapid tests you have, not everybody has that privilege. And I've said it before, but I feel like it's worth reiterating. It's not even that the COVID tests aren't reliable. It's not even that they're super spreading. It's not even that they very clearly not only don't care about their own lives, but they don't care about anybody else's around them, because they don't care if they spread COVID to other people. It's like, it's not even that makes this so bad. It is all of that, but it's also the fact that every single influencer at those parties and every single influencer there, all of those people have millions of followers, most of which are young people, teens, tweens, young people who, how incredible would it be if their fave was promoting having a Zoom birthday? How incredible would it be if their fave was promoting just staying home and not seeing your loved ones? How insane would it have been for Nikita to do a Zoom birthday party, and she could have made a whole video profiting off of it with all of your favorite YouTubers in the video playing playing games and doing things. That would have been 10 times more awesome, to me at least, and I think to a lot of other people, and I think she would have gotten so much more credit for that than throwing this in-person party and just being like, oh, well, we all got rapid tested. So the influence that this has and the ramifications it has because of that influence is something that will always bother me. D'Angelo Wallace obviously just made his fantastic video about all of this, and I feel like it's a really good sort of one-stop shop to all of the partying and all of the stuff that has been happening, because honestly it's hard to keep track of it all because there's so much. It always feels like there's another one of these super spreader party events. I think the hardest part about these is just knowing that nothing will ever change. Like the people that are doing everything right and are staying home and haven't seen their family in months and are celebrating their birthdays over Zoom and are genuinely being like respectful of the pandemic, the people that are doing that are the people that are about to get evicted and can't put food on their table. And the people who get to just blatantly forget that it exists are going to continue to be millionaires. And that's a tough pill to swallow. And I don't know the solution. Like, it's like, yeah, we can unfollow them, but not everybody's gonna do that because most of their audience is kids who don't understand the ramifications of what these people are doing. So I feel like all I can do with this situation and all we can all do is just pray that like karma does exist. That will eventually get these people that truly think they are so much better than other people, that other people deserve to die so that they can have a party. Because that's what it is. That's literally what it is. Finally. Okay, here we go. I literally don't want to talk about this because every day, my everyday struggle is if I talk about this person, am I just giving them more attention? And this person is the number one person that I am like, am I just giving her more attention by talking about her? So here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm not, because you all know who I'm talking about. And if you don't know, you really don't want to. I promise you don't want to. There is a beauty influencer who has started to regain her career and sort of revive her career by being incredibly problematic in promoting QAnon conspiracy theories, by basically being a very far-leaning right-wing conspiracy theorist. Like, she is growing a following again and reviving her career by being this sort of political troll. And I've talked about her in a video before. I did a whole video on her and I basically like laid it down why I didn't like her. And I said in that video, and I stand by this, that it's not that she's a Christian and it's not that she's a Republican, it's that she's a bad person. So this influencer did a collaboration with Sephora. Sephora basically sponsored one of their videos. And right away, a lot of people were like, hey, Sephora, this is messed up. You should not be doing this collaboration with this influencer. She's incredibly problematic. She did this, 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 and this, and they like linked all the tweets and people were really upset about it. Here's my thing. I know that a lot of people feel in the internet space that people shouldn't be going after YouTubers' sponsorships. I remember specifically when the whole Keemstar H3 thing was happening, everybody was really mad at H3 because they felt like you shouldn't be going after Keemstar's sponsorships. Like, he shouldn't have been going after his money in that way, and that sets a dangerous like precedent. Here's my thing. A sponsorship, and I get sponsorships, and I have a lot of recurring ones that I count on in my life, which I'm assuming Amanda had this reoccurring one with Sephora because it seemed like she'd worked with them before. Here's the thing though, and this is truly just my opinion as a person who does sponsorships. A sponsorship or a brand deal as an influencer is not something that should be expected. It should be something that is taken as like a perk or a bonus. No influencer is entitled to have brands work with them. At the end of the day, it's a business. They're gonna do what's best for their business. And for most businesses, associating with people who are on the sort of far right, like all the way in I don't even know what's farthest right for me. At the end of the day, a business is a business and they are allowed to do whatever they want. You as a person on the internet are not entitled to their money, to their support, to them being featured on their channel. at the end of the day, they are a brand that doesn't care about you as an individual. They care about their bottom dollar. And the reason they're paying you is because they think it's going to make them more money by being featured on their channel. When they find out that being featured on your channel is going to make them less money, they don't want to work with you anymore. And that's their prerogative. I am assuming that Sephora probably lost a good deal of money on this whole thing because when they found out about her issues, they got blasted on social media and they told her to take down the video. If it's anything like the deals that I have done, they probably still had to pay her for that video. So she got paid. She got paid by them and she didn't even have to keep the video up. This influencer is now turning this into this sort of campaign of how she is yet again being oppressed for being a conspiracy theorist. Like, that is literally what's happening. She's doing the rounds on all of these, notice the news sites she's on. They are not like MSNBC. It's like QAnon. Like, she is on the non-legitimized news sources that statistically give more lies than facts. Anyway, she's on these far-right news organizations basically talking about how she is the oppressed person in this situation, how Sephora says they stand for diversity and inclusivity, but they're not inclusive of conservative values, and she's reposting all of these people who are like, I'm not gonna shop at Sephora anymore, and she's talking about how all these people are gonna boycott for her. And now she has announced that she is going to make a makeup line called Make Makeup Great Again, which I'm assuming is a spin-off of Donald Trump's tagline, Make America Great Again. Here's my thing. I don't care. I don't care. I could sit here all day and tell you how she is not oppressed. She is being held accountable for her actions, which, by the way, the reason Sephora is now saying that they distance themselves from her is because when the Capitol attacks on January 6th were starting to happen, this girl tweeted out, there's not enough popcorn in the world for like what's about to happen right now, right as the Capitol stuff was starting. She's trying to claim that it wasn't about that. She's claiming that like it was just bad timing and she was talking about corruption. But it's like it's a little late, okay? It was a little late for that. Everybody kind of knew what the deal was. So she's not getting fired by Sephora for being a conservative. She was being fired because she tweeted insensitive things about the insurrection. And on her Twitter, she's been posting very dangerous rhetoric and conspiracy theories about like Donald Trump. Like, it's a whole thing. I personally think it is the epitome of privilege for her to think that just because she exists and she's allowed to have these like horrible takes, she's like being racist towards other people, she thinks that she's allowed to have her cake and eat it too. She thinks she's allowed to be a conservative political troll and also still get mainstream brand deals. But she's not. She's not entitled to those things. Sephora isn't entitled to give her those things, and no brand is entitled to give her those things. A lot of people were mad at Sephora because they felt like Sephora should have known about this before even working with her. And honestly, I'm mad at Sephora because they're giving her too much attention. Like, the fact that this is turning into her gaining all of these conservative Twitter followers and basically giving her exactly what she wants as like a conservative troll. Like, they're giving her that. That's why I'm mad at Sephora. I'm not mad at them for doing the sponsorship in the first place. Do I wish that they had known beforehand about her and done better research? Yes. But knowing how kind of these deals work and seeing that they did it through I think it was r/style rewards, which is like an affiliate brand. I'm assuming that the brand basically just pitched a group of influencers to do this collab. They looked at all of their analytics and they signed off on it. And I'm imagining that's how it went. I do truly believe they probably didn't know about all of this stuff with her because the person signing off on it just saw her analytics and signed off. So I understand the mistake on their part, and I'm happy that they rectified it. I'm more pissed about the attention she is now receiving because I know that is deep down what she wants more than anything in the world, is the attention. All right, friends. That's gonna be it for me. Let me know down below what you guys think about these topics, what you think about kind of what I'm talking about. I'm really interested to hear your guys' perspective on all of this. And yeah, I love you guys so much. I hope you like this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media, and everything I'm wearing on my face will be linked down below, along with my little social justice corner. Go check it out. Links and information down there. Stay informed, stay involved. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!